what a victory!
It's finally here. Formula One in 2024.
The wait is over in Bahrain, and we are just hearing that the starting grid is on the look for a new driver. Who will it be?
I'm having trouble trying to sleep. I'm counting shit.
And radio is good.
Here we go.
The Grand Prix is underway.
What a dramatic start. Can you believe it?
Lights feel like they're gonna bleed.
Yes!
Spun out of my
Oh, he's lost it.
Pop out, guys. That's it.
The pit lane's going to be alive now. They're all in.
On my own, here we go. Mind is set on overdrive. On my own, here we go.
It's not every day that we get to see such incredible wheel-to-wheel racing.
Out of the final corner.
And here's our winner today!
Can you beat me?
What a race. Thank you very much for that.
Welcome in, everybody, to tonight's race of Prowler Racing League. Tonight, we are in Mexico. It's going to be 17 corners of absolute chaos as our drivers from last week in Brazil are going to be vying for position because of the chaos that happened last week. 3 DRS zones, each with their own detections. So it should be interesting to see what everyone can do for tonight. Let's head on over to our intermission screen. Oh, it is raining! Oof. This is going to make for a very challenging night for everybody. So as we're sitting right now, we're actually waiting for everybody to head out onto track for qualifying. Keep a close eye on the data. See who goes out first. Before we do that, let's get into our standings. First up is our driver standings with Some Good Salt out in front. With only a few races left to go, he actually might clinch this pretty decently. 139 points to Zaluxi's 96. Because of Salt being out in front like that, the team standings currently Racing Bulls are 206, Haas 185, Alpine 118, Aston Martin 74, Ferrari 72, McLaren 70, and Red Bull at 66. So that 4th through 7th is going to be a tight battle for points. Let's head on over to the track and get an eye on some cars that are out on track. First up, we're actually going to look at, I think Luxi's going to be our driver we're going to watch. Let's head on over. Both the Haas's are out, but Zaluxi is leading the pair. It's like everybody so far is on the wets. One of our players is not. Looks like all of our drivers except for one of the Aston Martins, which I believe might actually be do apologize. I need to check which driver that is. I'm pretty sure that is C-Dot. Quick check of the in-game graphics real quick. It is. So we'll send him a message to get that sorted. Get back to qualifying. And let's see here. Who's the other? Oh, we got another one. Who is behind C9? That is Mr. Chris. So we'll get him to. Okay. Our two drivers that are listed as player on screen. We are now going to get back to qualifying. Zaluxy setting the fastest time so far of a 1:27.622. Got a yellow flag on the main straight. Let's see who else is actually pumping out a time right now. Looks like our newest driver, Kaysen, coming around. Fastest time, a 1:27.212. Almost half a second faster than Zaluxy. Followed up by Chris on the intermediates. Now that's interesting. That Chris on the inters setting such a fast pace on such a wet track. Still setting a personal best in that first sector. We'll stay on board here with Mr. Chris. Because if he is actually pumping out faster time, Josh Rose up front, 1:26.650 on the intermediates. Chris still putting in a personal best first and second sector on the intermediates. If he can get past the slower McLaren in front, might still improve. He does, up to P2 with a 1:27.155. This is a clear indicator to the rest of the field that they should be switching to intermediates. Let's check the weather real quick to see what conditions are going to be. It says it's storming now. 5 minutes continue to be storm. 10 minutes from now continue to be storm. So basically this entire qualifying session will be under pretty wet conditions, but drivers out front showing that the intermediates are putting down decent times. So far, looks like Josh is on a lap that was invalidated. Let's check with other drivers. Oh, we're going to go back with Kaysen. Purple first sector. 31.118 for that first sector. See what he can do. Tonight he is covering for Viper, who wasn't able to make it. Purple second sector. Looks like he's going to try to take it away. Bunch of traffic going through there. Let's see as he comes around final corners here. And he does so, but he's also on wets. So this might be a case of very skilled driver on the wets putting down a fast time. Let's head down the rest of the field. Check out our other drivers here. We've got, it's like AO. No, AO finished. Let's go with our no time player, which is actually King C. Personal best in the first sector. Going through the curves here, through turns 9 and 10. Very wet conditions. Ooh, very close to invalidating there. So we're not getting full data from CDOT. So I can tell you he does do a personal best first, second sector as he's coming around to the final corner here. See what time he puts down. Moves him up to P12, the 130.659. Looks like we got an Alpine front row lockout between Chris and Kaysen. So far, the only driver that has not set a time is Boogie, but he is currently in the pits. So let's head back up the field. Real quick, we're going to see if anybody's sending a faster time. Not really. Zaluxy purpled the first sector, yellowed the second sector. So more than likely not going to be able to improve much, and does not. 127.622. Looks like we got Sasuke is actually putting down a purple first sector. It's another one of those drivers where we're having data issues with him. We talked about it earlier in the Discord that he is not having the best connection with the data. So we'll have to sort that out sometime. But for right now, personal best in the second sector. With the purple first sector, personal best in the second. See as he's come through in the stadium section here how much further this is going to bump him up the field. Up to P4 on the wets. So out of the top 5 cars, only 4 of them are running intermediates, where Sasuke just set a time on the full wets. Now mind you, with the full wets, in very wet conditions, they're very similar to this. Ooh, as you can see on his cool down lap, he's getting a little squirrely there. Looks like, let's head down to Vanilla. Oh, too far there. Vanilla. Personal best first sector. Ooh, cutting that really close there on the inside. Finishes the second sector. 2 personal best times. Oh, invalidated on the exit of turn 12. Vanilla. Commentator curse. Apologies for that one. Let's see if they go again. Oh, they would have been so much faster, so much better, but with the invalidation of that lap. P9 for Vanilla. Looks like Van's up to P8, 128.968. Got a yellow. Oh, that's just for Vanilla going slow, getting out of everybody's way. Let's head down to Corey. Ooh, drifting through turn 12. Personal best on the first and second sectors coming through the stadium. Let's see where this moves Corey up to. P5 for Corey on the wets, a 127.582. Head down to, let's go with Vans. Drifting through the corners there. Personal best on the first sector. Personal best in the second sector. On the intermediates. Coming through the stadium. It's got the Alpines ahead of him. Vans with a 128.521 P9. Let's check on. Let's go look at our championship leader right now. Some good salt. Personal best in the first sector. Personal best in the second sector, but still 1.1 down from our pole setter. Cross line P4 for our championship leader, 126.400. So far, our top 5 cars are on intermediates. All of them are in the pits. Let's see if there's anybody else running a lap. Right now, it looks like Vanilla currently out there. 2 personal bests. Drifting through the last corners. See if Vanilla can move up. P4 for Vanilla, 125.543. Great run there for Vanilla. Couple slow-moving cars on the main straight, just going to get out of the way of everybody. Looks like everybody's going for a last-ditch effort to try to dethrone our reserve driver. Ooh, Vanilla cutting the corner really good there to avoid traffic. Let's go on board with oh, looks like somebody there is back in the wall. Drivers are invalidating as they go around. Quickly trying to go through here to see who we've got. 2 minutes to go. Your pole setter currently out on track. Going to try to improve on their time. Currently on an out lap. Getting those intermediates warmed up. Looks like the rain has gotten a little bit less. So maybe these intermediates will have some better grip. Looking down. Everybody's fastest times there. Currently watching out on track. All the cars are not improving their times. Many drivers are actually invalidating. About a minute left. Even our pole setter invalidated on his out lap. Luckily, he did it where he did, so he doesn't automatically invalidate his lap coming up. Drifting through that last corner. He's going to start his last flying lap. So far, looking at timing screens, DRL Racer X has improved on his first sector. So has Corey. See what our pole setter can do. See if he can improve in his first sector. Getting very squirrely there on the rear end. Improves just a little bit. Josh behind actually sets the fastest first sector. Actually, Josh is up ahead of him. Chris puts in the personal best, or actually fastest. Middle sector just pipped by Josh. Let's hang out with Josh here as he comes through the stadium sector. purple first two sectors. Let's see if he can get up there. Mr. Chris takes provisional pole. Josh pips him right there. Kaysen, personal best through the first and second sector. Only can get P2. See if there's anybody else coming across that hasn't finished yet. Sasuke. Slower on the first sector. Personal best in the second. He should be able to improve his starting position from here. See what he does as he comes across the line. Moves up to P7. That pretty much wraps up our qualifying session. Vanilla is out, so we're not going to see any time from there. Just checking real quick. Looks like C-Dot is in the pits. I believe he's really the only car we're waiting on. Yep, everybody else is across the finish line. So that is our qualifying session. Yeah, screenshot of this real quick for our league. So when we do our results, we always have backup. Scroll down, get our boogie in the back there. Screenshot that. Okay. Let's head back on over to our intermission screen. I'm going to render out the grid real quick so you can see that. Takes a minute for the software to let us do our thing. And here is tonight's grid. Currently, all of our drivers are looking at their strategies for tonight. I didn't get to see or hear what the actual race is going to do. We did have a wet qualifier, but if we have a dry race, it's anyone's game. Because with a dry race, everyone has to pit at least once to change compounds. If it's a wet race, at any point, the two-tire compound rule goes right out the window, and you could have a guy start on the wets and go to hards and finish the race out on the hards. So thankfully, everyone is behaving tonight. Sometimes we have individuals that will ready up early, but as it stands right now, nobody's doing that. So we can actually, let's bring up some of our music real quick while we wait. So tonight's pole setter is Josh Rose, followed closely by our reserve driver, Elite is what he was going by. Mr. Chris, P3, Zaluxi, P4, our championship leader, Some Good Salt, going to look to maintain that lead tonight, starting in P5. The other Haas teammate, Vanilla Spilla, P6. Sasuke, P7, ahead of his teammate, DRL Racer X. Next up is AO, looking to move up to support his teammate, Some Good Salt. keep those Red Bulls in the lead of the championship. Then you got Corey in P10. He's going to try to stay in P10 or move up to score some points for those Saubers. Unfortunately, Corey's been basically driving by himself most of the season. Hopefully next year, whatever team he picks up, he will be having a teammate to help him out. Next up, we got in P11, King C-Dot, the lone Aston Martin tonight. P12, Vans of the lone McLaren. Dynamic was supposed to make it. He wasn't sure if he would make it in time. We shall see, though. Then we got the Red Bull of Modern Tie in P13. And then we got both Ferraris of C9 Wolf and Boogie bringing up the back. Looks like we are on the grid for our formation lap. Let's head on over to our race screen and get this party started. So as the cars are heading out on track, let's get our graphics up and running. Our two drivers still not getting their data sent to us. Give them a reminder again. So, again, tonight's grid, it's going to be Josh up front, followed by Elite, our reserve driver, Mr. Chris, Zaluxi, Some Good Salt, Vanilla Spilla, Sasuke, and TRL Racer X, followed by AO, Corey, King C-Dot, Vans, Modern Tie, C9 Wolf, and Boogie. Looks like we got a couple cars that bugged out and are on the grid already. Unfortunate for them, because that will cause their tires to be very cold. So we're actually going to go on with our P2 driver of Elite. Final cars in the back of the grid. And we wait for the lights. 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And away we go. Josh up front. Getting a good pull away. Coming down to turn 1. Let's see how clean everybody can keep this. Little bit of lockup. Everybody making their way through. Doesn't look like we have any issues yet. Check out, see if this reaction times graphic works here. It did not work correctly. I think that might be because we're not getting proper data from our current leader. That's all right. Let's go down to the track. Very close battles going on right now. Few warnings for some of our drivers as we're going through. Oh, looks like a couple drivers cutting corners early. We got Chris out in front on the mediums followed very closely by Josh. A little bit of lock up there from our leader. Looks like Zaluxy is in the pit early. Let's head on down. Looks like a wing change. So there must have been some incidents is in the back cause our second place driver in the championship to now be all the way down in P15. Luxie's going to have a hard time for making her way back up to the front. Speaking of the front, Chris heading into the stadium section with Josh directly behind. Cross start finish line. These three in the top three are going to be pulling away. It looks like Salt is about a second back. Josh going for the DRS move on the inside, with Kaysen directly behind. Unfortunately, Chris dropping back to P3. Let's head back to the rest of the field, check out what we got going on back here. Looks like AO directly behind DRL Racer. Both cars are on the same tires, both on mediums. Unfortunately, AO is burning that battery to stay with DRL Racer. Vans into the pit. AO definitely depleting that battery. Right now, he's down to about 20%. And he's losing time to DRL Racer. Let's head up to Vanilla. Vanilla and Sasuke right on the tailpipe of Salt. Oh, Zaluxy, 3-time second penalty. DRS is wide open for both Sasuke and Vanilla. Sasuke getting around Salt. Oh! Vanilla getting to the back of Salt there, unfortunately. Luckily, it doesn't look like there's any damage. Vanilla looking to the inside, trying to make a move on Salt. Barely got that nose in there. See if Vanilla can make it stick. Cannot. Salt staying ahead of Vanilla Spilla. Vanilla Spilla chasing down some good Salt, staying right on that bumper. Corey getting the warning. They're cutting corners. We got Vanilla chasing down. DRS is wide open. Vanilla on the inside. Easy pass. Passed. Some good Salt as they come into turn one. Vanilla now chasing down Sasuke. Sorry about that. So it looks like closest battles right now is going to be our three at the front. And the three here with Sasuke, Vanilla, and Salt, all within DRS, but still spaced out pretty decently. Vanilla right on the tail of Sasuke. That DRS wing is going to pop open, goes to the inside, pulls alongside, and passed. Sasuke for P4. Oh, big spin back there. Who was that dropping back? That might have been DRL Racer X. Or was that AO? Hard to tell. Saw a car spin out in the back. Didn't have good data on which one that was. But the field is getting pretty spread out here. Except for the drivers up to the front. Oh, looks like C-Dot left the session. Hopefully he can get another invite to get back in, because I believe his car is still going. It is. It's still on track. So hopefully he can use one of the invites that somebody should have sent him and he can hop back in. Let's head back up the field to our leaders. Van's in the pit again. Josh out in front, less than half a second, which is in that DRS. Kaysen getting really close to the backside of Josh. As we come around the hairpin, we're going to be heading into a little bit of S's before we get into that third DRS zone. See if Kaysen can keep. That's another warning for a corner cut. I do recall, yes, Kaysen already has a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. So he needs to be mindful. If he keeps doing that, he's going to retain more penalties, and that's going to affect the end of the race. Let's go back to our intervals ahead. Just check, see what everyone's doing. Kaysen might be just hanging out. Vans, 3-second penalty. Vans is currently a lap down, so he might be trying to avoid traffic and unfortunately collecting penalties for that. DRL Racer, another warning. Total of 2. He might get a penalty next time he cuts a corner. Down the front straight. Kaysen, our current leader, getting that pass in DRS zone. Heading to the hairpin. This group of 3 in the front, very close together. Let's go check out our next close group, which is going to be Vanilla and Sasuke. Sasuke hunting down Vanilla. Sasuke does have a 3-second penalty, so if he does get past Vanilla, he's got to make sure whoever he is ahead of gets at least 3-second gap ahead. Apologies while we get some of our graphics refixed here. Lap 10 of 36 for the Mexican Grand Prix. Everybody's getting pretty spread out right now. Our leader, Josh up front. Let's go on board with him. Josh out front. Gap is 1.2 back to Kaysen. Fortunately, that is outside the DRS zone. Mr. Chris does have DRS on Kaysen, but see how we can do. Corey with a 3-second penalty. Okay. Yep. All the graphics came back on. Let's turn these all off. Okay, we're actually going to use the in-game graphics for the timing board because it looks like due to some of our drivers not having their telemetry set correctly, we're unable to gather correct data. So we're just going to use what we got. We'll do the old school method. Safety car is deployed. Let's look on the map here to see if we got anybody that's crashed out. Doesn't look like we've lost anyone. So, not sure why we have a safety car. But that does give us an opportunity to go through the field to show where everyone's at. Great thing is, this safety car is actually going to bunch everyone back up. So as everyone was spreading out, it was hard to keep an eye on what was going on. So, we're now going to be bunching the field up. Should be interesting to see who all pits. So far, everyone is pitting. Josh going onto those mediums. Looks like one of the Haas's stayed out. Vanilla stayed out. Surprisingly, Vans came into the pit as well. Whereas he could have gotten his lap back if he had stayed out. So our current leader. Oh, Modern with a severe penalty for colliding with AO. That must have happened. Looks like that might have happened towards the pits. Looking at the map there. That may have happened coming into the pits. We shall see. So, starting at the top, we got Vanilla Spilla, Josh in P2. Mr. Chris, Kason, Sasuke, DRL Racer, Corey, Zeluxy, AO, Modern Tie, Some Good Salt. I believe that is the AI of C-Dot. C9, Boogie, and Vans bringing up the back. So let's head back up to the front. Look, our graphics are still messed up. That's okay though. We'll just stick with the in-game ones and make the best of it. So let's position change. We'll go with that one. So Vanilla Spilla, currently one of the big movers up to P1. Josh down one from pole position. Mr. Chris maintains P3. Kason down 2 positions to P4. Sasuke up 2. DRL's also up 2. Corey's up 3. Zeluxy, unfortunately, is down 4. AO maintaining that P9. Modern Tie is up 3 positions. Our championship leader, Some Good Salt, down 6. C-Dot down 1. C9 up 1. Boogie up 1. And Vans down 3. Let's take a look at our penalties. We got 3 seconds for the guys up front, 10 for Modern. Safety car is in this lap. So we'll go on board with Josh here. See how well he keeps Vanilla in his grasp. That green flag group is coming around those final corners. Vanilla punching it, trying to get a lead out front. Going strong. We'll keep an eye in the back, see if anything happens back there. Salt's up. Position over Ty. Very audacious move there. Josh up front. Vanilla losing out. Looks like Vanilla's going to lose another one. Very close battle back here. Vans unfortunately not getting out of the way. Getting a penalty for ignoring blue flags. Anytime that you are a lapped car and you're stuck in traffic during a safety car, the best option is just to get out of the way. Pull over to the side, let them through. It's unfortunate he pitted during the start of that safety car. He could have got his lap back before the restart. Gaps are pretty close. Looks like Sasuke making a move on Vanilla. Vanilla dropping down very quickly. Let's look at the tires. Yeah, Vanilla's on 15 lap old hards compared to those front runners who decided to pit. They are on much younger tires. Combination between hards and mediums. Let's take a look at who pitted. So Vanilla still needs to pit. So does C-Dot and Corey. as this is a dry race. Everybody has to... Ooh, Vanilla cut in the corner there. Everyone has to run 2 compounds of tires. We'll keep up these penalties just so it makes it easier to see what's going on. AO and Ty are in a battle. Let's go check out their gap. Ty, it's a little bit further back. Still within DRS zone, so those wings are going to open up. Try to close it up to AO. Iron Ty in that last position to score a point. Again, he's chasing AO for P9. Still within DRS, but very close. Our driver in P2, Kaysen, has gotten another warning. Ty's DRS is wide open. It closes, shuts tight. That's what I meant to say. Coming into the stadium sector. Around the final corner. He's out of the DRS zone, or the range. He needs to be within 1 second, but he's outside of that right now. Not going to be able to use DRS. Vanilla DRL swapping positions up front, back and forth. Oh, very tight. Going through there. Vanilla might have lost out on that one. Due to the detection zone, DRL gets the DRS on that straightaway. Coming up to the hairpin there. They're now heading into Sector 2. See if DRL can keep Vanilla behind. See if Vanilla stays on the back there. Kaysen, fastest lap, 1:15. 8. See if Vanilla actually has Zaluxy behind. Zaluxy is ahead in the Drivers' Championship, but let's see if the teammates, they work together here to keep Salt behind and help each other catch back up to DRL. Zaluxy around the outside. Looks like Zaluxy is actually got a much faster car than her teammate, as they both had DRS through that section, but Zaluxy more or less blew right by. Zaluxy closing in on DRL Racer. Half a second. AO closing up on Ty. Here we are on the wing of AO as we're coming around final corners. Kaysen's our new leader, getting past Josh. Little glitch there on the screen. Iron Ty getting warned about corner cutting. AO starting to pull away from Modern. Great battle there. Let's head up to Some Good Salt. Right on the backside of Zaluxy. Prowler Racing League wants to thank everyone to come and check out our stream. Unfortunately, we'll have to apologize. Our graphics are not working properly tonight, so you're not getting all the luscious data we normally have. We are relying on the in-game graphics for tonight's session. Salt getting around Zaluxy on the inside. Heavy braking into turn 1. Up to P6 for Salt. Looks like we got Vans spun out back by the last corner. Might be coming into the pits, possibly. Now Salt is going to be hunting down DRL Racer. Get another position, score more points. Zaluxy really need to stay ahead of Salt there, because Zaluxy is currently P2 in the Drivers' Championship. Salt ever so closer to DRL. Under half a second as we come onto the main straight. Salt is going to be using that DRS. Wing is wide open. Battery's draining. He's on a hot lap on his settings. DRL Racers sticking weight with him. Heavy braking to try to defend. Unfortunately, Salt gets up ahead of DRL Racer. DRL Racer getting really squirrely there coming out of that corner. Try to maintain and keep with Salt. Let's check out. DRL Racer X has more battery. Let's check out. See if DRL is what tires he's on. Again, we're relying on the in-game. So they're on the evenly matched 9-lap old hards. Vanilla with a 3-second penalty. Vanilla still needs to stop to make that tire change. Mr. Chris. DRL or DRS train up at the front. Mr. Chris up to P2. These three at the front have been swapping back and forth pretty much all race. Looks like Vanilla finally comes into pit. Mr. Chris defending against Josh. Whoa, we got a little bit of glitching there. Looks like we might have a netcode issue with someone. We're on lap 23 of 36 here in Mexico. Mr. Chris is actually almost 2 seconds back from our leader. Our leader getting very squirrely out of that corner there. Looks like he has the Aston Martin of King C-Dot ahead of him. But I do believe that C-Dot is under AI. I'm not sure if he rejoined our session. Zaluxy with a warning for corner cutting. That is Zaluxy's 5th warning. Looks like we got a slow moving out of the last corner. Somebody got a little bit squirrely, it looks like. One of the Ferraris is in the pit. C9's in the pit. Vanilla moving past. C-Dot getting out of the way. of our leader with a healthy 2.3 second lead. Mr. Chris holding close to Josh. Coming through the stadium section here in Mexico. Around the final corner onto the main straight. We are now on lap 25 of 36. Mr. Chris's DRS swing is wide open, but so is Josh's. As they get the DRS off of the slower lapped car. Josh will be thanking the AI there, or CDOT, for giving that DRS so that he doesn't lose out too much to Mr. Chris. Let's head down to Salt and DRL. DRL on that tail. Moves to the outside. Gets around Salt. Now Salt just has to tuck in behind. Stay with. CDOT, 3-second penalty. He's getting a 3-second penalty. I bet you he's back in charge of his car again. Salt behind Zero Racer X by half a second. Will be close enough for DRS. It's like we had a lead change. That group up in the front is back and forth off that DRS train. Let's see what Salt can do here. Wing wide open, deploying that battery. DRL does not defend that inside. Looks like Van's retired on track. Right in the last corner. Go on board with one of Ferrari's. The other Ferrari. Yeah, his car is glitched out on track. That is why we always tell our drivers to retire in the pit lane to avoid chaos like that, because that car is still on track. Car's now clear. We're back to green conditions. Set up with our leaders. Swapping away as they come out of that final corner in the stadium section. Kaysen right on the tail of Josh. As they come through, wings are going to open up for DRS. Now it's all down to who's actually going to defend where. Josh looks like he is defending on the racing line. Looked like he was possibly going to defend on the inside, but decided not. All while these guys are battling, Mr. Chris desperately trying to pull a lead. Barely outside the DRS zone of Josh. Kaysen staying right on that tailpipe. Kind of yelled there real quick. Don't know if it was from those guys. It probably was. Just from them getting a little bit squirrely. Now the problem is that as these guys have been battling out, Chris has extended a lead out to 4.2 seconds. You can see him up ahead as he's about to take a left-hand turn. These two are still battling it out. The problem is Kaysen has a 3-second penalty, so he will lose out to Josh if they stay in the position they are. What he needs to do is start pulling away from Josh to try to maintain. Oh, getting very squirrely there. Oh, we lost the camera view of him. He's slowly coming back out on track. Looks like the AI car got its position back from him, but it has to give it up. Got some ground to make up now. He's 2 seconds back to Josh. See if he pits to get different tires. Does not. He continues on. So those tires might be screaming at him, but he's trying to keep going. Let's head on down to Boogie and P8 within DRS range of Modern Tie as we come around the final corner. Modern Tie does have a 10-second penalty for an incident. Looks like they went into the pit lane, but knowing how Ty is, he will probably send that to our steward's office and try to get that removed. So in his mind right now, he is racing straight up on track. He's not really factoring in that 10-second penalty. Boogie's going to get another chance here with this DRS zone. Wing is wide open. Pushing hard. Probably too far back. Yep, doesn't make a move there. He's going to stay on Modern Tie's tail as we come around this smaller section here through the S's. And at the end of the S's, you got another DRS zone. See if Boogie tries to make a move here. We're in lap 30 of 36. 6 more laps to go. Your leader, Mr. Chris. Oh, Salt with a 3-second penalty. Boogie does not make the move there. That's almost a too short of a straightaway to make a move going into the stadium. Really, the big opportunities for using DRS to get past is actually going to be turn 1. Got a car coming into the pits there. That is Modern Tie. Oh no, that means so Modern serving that 10-second penalty, that will no longer be able to be reviewed. So now he has to hunt down AO in P10 for the 1 point. But now he also loses out to C9. So Ty's got 2 positions to make up to try to score a point for tonight. Unfortunately, probably needed to pit because those tires were pretty tired, but unfortunately, he served that 10-second penalty. So let's head back up to the front. Your leader, Mr. Chris, by just about 5 seconds back to Josh, is going to try to maintain that gap and not lose any time out to the guys behind him for the win. Josh hunting down Mr. Chris with our reservist, Kaysen. Unfortunately, with a 3-second penalty, he's not going to be able to do anything with our leaders. Next up, 11 seconds back, you've got Some Good Salt in a very close battle here with DRL Racer X. Less than a half a second between them. They're going to enter into these S's here. Last I recalled, they are both on the same tires, about the same age. So now it's down to driver wit and battery deploy. DRS wide open for DRL Racer coming through. Taking with him through the stadium section. Let's see if he can make a move going down the main straight. Try to gain position on Salt. Knowing Salt, he's going to be deploying that battery, trying to stay ahead of DRL Racer X. DRS wing is open. DRL looks to the inside, can't decide if he's going to go for it, and he doesn't. And we're down to a virtual safety car. Corey retired. Looks like on the straightaway. Don't know if he crashed out or if that was a retirement on track. That would have been between turns 3 and 4. Virtual safety car is over. We're back to green flag racing. Virtual safety car just nullifies the field. Nobody can overtake, and your gaps stay relatively the same. Drivers have to go within a certain delta. Just hearing now, Corey indeed crashed out. Wonder if he got a little loose coming out of turn 3 going down that straight and it just went nope. We'll probably hear from him later. Mr. Chris coming up on a back marker. So he will gain DRS here as that back marker should be allowing, allows him to go through. So between Kaysen and Josh, they're still back and forth. But now Kaysen is going to need to try to pull away from Josh because he has that 3-second penalty. So as it stands, even though Kaysen may finish P2, he's going to lose out to Josh due to penalties. A few more corner cuts. Another 3-second penalty there. We saw him go a little bit wide into that same section. All 4 tires past the white line. Unfortunately, gets another 3-second penalty on top of the one he already had. Luckily for him, some good Salt in P4 has 3 seconds of penalties. So that won't drop him anywhere near Salt unless he scores another penalty and Salt can close the gap. But as it stands, Kaysen will come home in P3 behind Josh. Right now, this is the closest battle on track. Field has spread out pretty decently. Unfortunately, with this track, not many opportunities for passing. And the cars do get spread out like they are currently. So, we have Mr. Chris out front coming through the stadium section right now. As he comes around turn 16 and 17, he starts lap 35. So while he's going around, let's check out the rest of our field. Salt DNF. No! Our championship leader DNF'd. He's falling down the field. Unfortunate for Salt. That is a great news for Zaluxy, as that now chips away much needed points at Salt's championship lead. So, as it stands, Mr. Chris out front by roughly 5 seconds with his penalties included. He's only going to be ahead by about 2 seconds. So Josh needs to work with Kaysen to get closer to eliminate that gap to Chris, so that Josh could steal the lead if they get that gap down. But we are now heading onto Lap 36 of 36 here in Mexico. And I do not believe nope, the gap is now almost 10 seconds. Something must have happened. They must have tussled to lose out there. So we will actually stay on board here. Kaysen falling back. He's a second behind Josh now. Add on those 6 seconds. It's not going to work out for our reserve driver in the Alpine. Mr. Chris gets another warning for corner cutting. 8 seconds back to P2. We will watch. Ooh! Somebody spun out back through the S's. Get going again. Here we are with our leader, Mr. Chris. Cross the line. Followed up by Josh. Next up, Kaysen, our reserve driver in the Alpine. P3. Giro Racer X. P4. Zaluxy P5. Boogie bringing it home. P6 into the wall. Then we got AO coming through the stadium section. Bringing it home across the line. P8. Sasuke. Coming around. P9. And P10. Ooh, looks like he may have spun it in turn 16. Just bring it home, Ty. Bring it home. Into the pit lane he goes. And he will cross the line to finish out tonight's race. Ty, P10. Scoring that 1 point for Red Bull. Your driver of the day is Boogie. We didn't see him much tonight, but he was consistent enough that he indeed has driver of the day. There is your winner, Mr. Chris, hefting the trophy over his head. Getting sprayed with that fake champagne. We'll just wait for the graphics here at the end so we get our screenshots. Your winner, there it is, Mr. Chris. Bringing home P1 with 25 points. Let's get a screenshot real quick. Followed up by Josh, Kaysen, Dero Racer X, Zaluxy, Boogie, Vinospilla, AO, Sasuke, Modern Tie. That is your top 10. Followed up by C9, King C Dots, Some Good Salt, Corey, and the graphics gone. Apologies, everyone. So as we head out here, let's pull up the calendar. So our next race is actually in Jeddah, which is a high-speed street circuit, followed up by the infamous Yas Marina circuit, October 13th. So next week, we will see everyone in Saudi for round 11 of the Prowler Racing League. Thanks everyone for stopping out tonight. If you are following me on Twitch, we will be doing our admin stuff afterwards, but everyone on YouTube, Thank you for coming out tonight, and we will see you guys next week in Jeddah.